On today's episode of Yay or Nay, we're going to be checking out the J&D Studios 1/6 scale Hyperreal Heath Ledger Joker figure from The Dark Knight. Now, this figure, or should I say figures, because they are at different price points, has been stirring controversy because of the price point. Is it worth it? Is it a yay or a nay? Stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back to a new video here on the channel, and yes, it's another episode of Yay or Nay. A few days ago, whilst I was in Tokyo, I did my first episode of Yay or Nay in terms of whether or not it is worth it to buy the brand new Hot Toys 1/6 scale version 2 Batfleck figure. Came in as a yay, but some mods had to be made. Today, we are going to be checking out the J&D Studios 1/6 scale Heath Ledger Joker figure. Now, this is the Hyperreal figure. This has a silicone head, or should I say heads, depending on which version you get. We have an A, B, and C version. This figure also features rooted hair, and obviously the more expensive one you get, the more accessories it comes with. Now, the interesting thing, it's actually sold out on the official J&D website, but other websites have it in stock. They've obviously bought up as much as they can. It is not shipping to certain areas of the world. I do believe J&D directly were not shipping to the US. I could be wrong, but other websites are now shipping to the US. So that is obviously a big bonus for people in the US who want this figure. And if you're wondering what this guy is, it's actually a bootleg / third-party figure. So this is from Fire Toys. I kid you not. How fucking lazy is that? I actually have an unboxing video back on the main Cosplay Chris channel that I put up a year or two ago, I think, and I got this guy for like 550 bucks, and he's quarter scale. It's essentially a knockoff version of the Enter Bay quarter scale Joker figure that I actually had many years ago, but to find one of them now is impossible, and if you find one on eBay, they go for an absolute mozza. So again, this guy was a third-party figure, 550 bucks. Doesn't come with a stand, so he's standing on a paper towel holder. But he looks the part. Look, overall, it's not 100% accurate, but I love it for what it is and the price point as well. So the website I'm going to be going off to check out the specs is actually called Speculative Fiction Collectibles. They have the J&D 1/6 scale Hyperreal Joker in stock. So let's check out the different price points. We've got Type A, which is 1,049 USD. We then have the Type B, which is 1,669 USD. And finally, the Type C, which comes with all the bells and whistles, which is 2,349 USD. So if we do USD to AUD, sorry, I'm going to go back here, 2,349. So 2,349, that's 3,506 AUD. That is a lot of money. Before I make my mind up, let's first check out the specs and the pics of what we have so far and what to expect. So let's just start with the Type A, because for the most part, they're going to be using same photos of the figure, but if there's different accessories or more accessories, that's when they're going to include them. Actually, you know what? Let's just skip all the way to Type C, just to see it all. So if we go to the gallery here. So first and foremost, one of the things that the Type C figure comes with in terms of all the bells and whistles is the two Rottweilers. Personally, I couldn't give a rat's ass about these two figures. Like, it was such a small little moment in The Dark Knight when we see Heath Ledger's Joker with those two dogs at the top of the construction site building. I don't really care for him. It's weird. And they kind of look cheap as well, like cheap, shiny plastic in comparison to the actual figure. Okay, perfect photo. Let's check out the head sculpt and the paint application. This is definitely a damn good attempt at Heath Ledger's likeness. It's funny. All the Joker figures over the years have different elements in terms of how good the head sculpt is. Or should I say, different qualities. Like, some look good in terms of nailing the eyes, some look good in terms of nailing the smile, the overall facial structure of Heath Ledger. Heath had such a specific bone structure with his face. You know, he was very lean in the face, given he was, only 27/28 when he played the Joker. He was a baby, and it's very hard to really fine-tune and capture that likeness, whether it's a neutral facial expression or a smile. But in terms of this sculpt, it's pretty damn good. I think the one thing that throws me off a little are the eyes. The eyes are the hardest to nail when it comes to Heath Ledger's Joker, and the eyes are essentially the window into the soul, and if it isn't there or he looks a little dead inside, then it throws the whole illusion of the figure off. But again, this is silicone, it does have the rooted hair. For the most part, it is pretty good. Like, it definitely is Heath Ledger, but it just seems like something is definitely missing, and I think it is in those eyes. The paint app, the makeup all looks pretty good. It looks dirty, it looks gnarly. In terms of the costuming does look pretty good. It's that perfect shade of purple, the perfect shade of green on the vest. Everything looks pretty damn good. And I am interested to see in-hand photos of how that head sculpt is going to look. Again, it is platinum silicone with rooted hair. But for the most part, it looks the part. See, that's such a classic pose right there with the grenades and stuff like that. That's how I would definitely pose him. This guy does actually come with the grenades, but it looks a bit hokey the way to pose him because the body is a bit dodgy. Like he's being propped up with a pole up his butt, otherwise you'll just topple over because the joints are so bloody loose. Again, it's a cheap knockoff figure. I do like this alternate look too, with the coat off, or should I say coats off. You got his blazer and his trench coat. And just that classic look from when he's in the police station in custody with the handcuffs, that looks great. That's a great pose right there. That's one you don't often see, even though his like head is not looking forward, just looking up. It's very reminiscent of those promo stills that we got from that he did in the studio all those years ago when he was in full Joker makeup, Joker costume. Now the hands are also silicone, which is very interesting, and I believe they're posable. I'll have to go check the figure specs, but I also love that they got remnants of the white clown makeup on there. Highly detailed. Again, would love to see what it's going to look like in hand. We also have an alternate head sculpt as well that's more of a, wouldn't say smiling, but kind of like a clenched teeth grimace smile, if that makes sense. So let's go to the figure specs. So the Type C figure comes with 2 bodies, 2 heads, 2 bases, 2 pairs of resin hands. Okay, 1 pair of silicone hands, invisible wrist joint, 1 pair of silicone hands, invisible finger joints, pistol, knife, machine gun, 1 pair of handcuffs, 1 set of grenades, grenade trigger, 6 playing cards, 1 set of cash bundles, 1 magnetic eye control pen. Okay, so you lock the magnetic pen onto the eyes and that's how you move them. It doesn't have like the plate that comes off the back, much like the Hot Toys figures. 1 chair and 2 dog accessories. In my opinion, I don't need the chair, the dog accessories. So let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum and see the Type A figure, the cheapest one. So 1 body, 1 head, 1 base, 2 pairs of resin hands, 1 pair of silicone hands, 1 pistol, 1 knife, 1 machine gun, 1 pair of handcuffs, 1 set of grenades, 1 grenade trigger, 6 playing cards, 1 set of cash bundles, and 1 magnetic eye control pen. So if we go USD to AUD, 1,049, that equates to just over 1,500 AUD. So given all the detail that's put into the figure, platinum silicone head, rooted hair, with the most expensive one you get 2 head sculpts, 2 bodies, 2 bases, a shitload of accessories including the dogs, the chair, and then at the opposite end of the spectrum for AUD $1,500 you get 1 head sculpt, 1 body, 1 base, and then less accessories. Is this figure worth it? Is it a yay or a nay? In my opinion, it's a massive nay. This is such an expensive figure, and I know there are people out there that are going to be like, you don't understand, it's platinum silicone, it's highly detailed handmade, and that's all well and good, but that is a shit ton of money. If this was, say, a quarter scale figure, perfect, totally warranted in terms of that price point, whether it be the Type A, B, or C figures. That head sculpt is definitely throwing me off. Something is missing. And like I said in the Batfleck Hot Toys video that I did for Yay or Nay, there are so many amazing custom artists out there that do these beautiful head sculpts that are much more accurate than all these mass-produced companies. So case in point, One Studio on Instagram does some incredible, if not the best custom Joker heads I've ever seen. I mean, look at their work right here. It speaks for itself. That is Heath Ledger in the Joker makeup, 100%. Now, I have inquired about purchasing one of these head sculpts for this guy, and I believe off the top of my head, for quarter scale, just for the head sculpt, you're looking at about $1,000. So, given the fact, if you want the ultimate Joker figure, and you go all out, and let's say you get the Type C figure, which is 3,500 AUD here in Australia, and then on top of that, you want a much more accurate head sculpt. Some people are going to look at the J&D and think that head sculpt's 100% accurate. It's for me, because again, this is all subjective. That's awesome. You're done and dusted. But if you want to go a step further and just want the ultimate likeness to Heath Ledger, and you have to invest, say, another 1,000 USD on another head sculpt, then you're looking at over, $5,000 for the ultimate Joker figure. And that's just in 1/6 scale. I don't actually know what One Studio charges for a 1/6 head. It could be the same price point. But I did inquire for a quarter scale head and it came in at $1,000 USD. So guys, overall, it's a massive nay for me. I just cannot justify that price point, whether it's the A, B, or C. There are people out there that have purchased it that are 100% happy with their purchase, and that's awesome. But to me, just in terms of the accessories it comes with, I feel like some of the accessories are just going to be wasted, especially those two dogs. Like, that's a first. I've never seen the dogs come with a Joker figure before, and it's a very, not forgetful moment, but it's such a small moment in the Dark Knight, whereas some people are going to love the fact that it comes with the dogs, a chair, and stuff like that. But for the high-end figure coming in at just over 3,500 AUD, and it's just 1/6 scale, nah, cannot justify that. If it were quarter scale, absolutely. That makes sense. But at the same time, if you're a perfectionist and you're going to want the ultimate Joker figure, you might have to swap it out for a custom head, which is going to set you back another 1,000 USD on average. So guys, if you have checked out the specs on the JND 1/6 scale Hyperreal Joker figure, drop a comment below. Do you think it's worth it in terms of the price point? It has caused a big stir in the collecting community in terms of the price point. Some people think it's worth it, some people don't. I myself just cannot justify it. So this coming week, I'm actually going to be putting up my unboxing of the Enter Bay T800 battle damaged figure from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I had a quick look at it. We got a bit of work to do on it, and it's actually going to make for a good video. I was wondering why I got it so cheap. There weren't enough photos up on the eBay listing to properly see and inspect the condition of it. So usually these figures go for about 1,500. I got it for 700 from Melbourne. And there's a very good reason why it was 700 bucks. But we can fix it. We can make it work. We can make it look like it's mint condition. Try to. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.